Jack Hughes, it's time to take the pacifier out of your damn mouth. And quit being a little bitch. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome back to the channel. I try to upload daily hockey content, whether it's from the NHL, international hockey, or into the minor leagues. I have a couple things to talk about. I'm gonna go through a couple topics here. I was going to do a video yesterday, and then I found something out. So buckle your seatbelts because this is gonna be a doozy. First off, the Montreal Canadiens won 3-2 against the Boston Bruins in overtime. Caulfield scored his 40th. That's a little bit of the Habs recap. Now, we'll get to the other topic I want to talk about in a bit. Let's talk about Jack Hughes. So, yesterday he was on an interview on Open the Ice, I believe that's what it was called, on ESPN, and he said that it is BS that his golden goal puck, the puck that was in the net when the U.S. won their gold medal, is at the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto, Ontario. He wanted to keep it. He felt like he was entitled to it. He is not. And then he also went on and said that he didn't want it for himself. Sure. He wanted to give it to his dad. Again, it's not his property. Clearly, yes, it's been years since the U.S. has even won a gold medal, so clearly they don't understand. And then brought up Megan Keller, who is a member of the Team USA's women's team, who also won gold, saying that she should get her puck. Jack, that's not how it works. Clearly, you've been hanging around Donald Trump too much, and you've also become retarded. It's not your property. It's not even Megan Keller's property. I think I said her name wrong. It's not even her property. It belongs to the IIHF. You're not playing in the NHL. Yes, NHLers, when they score their first goal, they get their puck. But this isn't the NHL. You're playing for the Olympics. You're playing for the IIHF. You're international hockey. You don't keep it. And then one of the owners of the Hockey Hall of Fame said that it was never Jack's property to own. And I stand by that. It is true. It's not his property to own. He doesn't own it. But he continues to whine like a, what's that word that Gunther uses a lot? Oh, that's right, a little bitch. He needs to worry more about trying to help the Devils go to the playoffs, because they're not making it to the playoffs. Maybe he should be whining about his team not making the playoffs, and he's never going to win a Stanley Cup, and that his brother is 10 times better than him. And it is true. Like, this guy went first overall in 2019, hasn't done anything. I don't know if he's won an award. I think he has. There was one season where he won the Hart. But look at his brother. Look at Quinn. In Quinn Hughes' rookie season, which was also 2019, how funny, that's also the same year that Jack was drafted, and that was the same year he played. Quinn Hughes was second for the Calder. We all know who won the Calder that year. Canadian player Cal McCarr, who went on to win the Norris, and the Conn Smythe, and the Stanley Cup. Quinn Hughes has yet to win the Stanley Cup. He might get there soon. A lot sooner than Jack Hughes, because he clearly worries about a fucking black disc that he put in the net for a gold medal game. When Sidney Crosby, I personally don't like Sidney Crosby. I'm an Ovechkin fan, clearly. But when Sidney Crosby won the gold medal in 2010, I didn't hear him whine and bitch about the puck that he scored with going to the Hockey Hall of Fame. But again, that's Sidney, different player. That's Sidney Crosby. This is Jack Hughes. He needs to worry about a little bit more on his team and less about a stupid puck. He sounds like a little bitch when he complains about it. And then to have the Hockey Hall of Fame come out and say that was never your puck to own. It's true. It was never his puck to own. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to bring my attention to the so-called head of player safety, George Peros, who faced the media 2 days ago, was confident with the suspension he gave Radko Gudas, after facing a lot of backlash, not just from fans, but also from the league itself, from other players. And him basically saying he doesn't evaluate the player, he evaluates the play and then determines the consequence, means he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't care. You should. Because a star player is out for the rest of the season. Granted, the Leafs are not making the playoffs. Their season is done. But still, he is now done. His season is over. This entire season is over for him. Radko Gudas comes back in 4 games. This guy's a repeat offender. I know I've watched him on Washington. I've watched him on Washington. And honestly, he's a shitty player. And what I mean by shitty, I don't mean he sucks. I mean he's a dirty player. And Washington already had enough of that with Tom Wilson. But seeing the 5-game suspension is a joke. And even Austin Matthews' agent said it was a joke. It is a joke. And then to have Brady and Matthew Tkachuk say that they would be willing to be ejected from the game to defend their teammate. Please don't make me like you guys, but again, I like what they said. They said that they would be pissed off. Brady said that, I know that. The Leafs didn't do a damn thing. They didn't. The Leafs did. No Leaf player went after Gudas when Matthews took the knee-on-knee. And as I said, this isn't the first time that Radko Gudas did this. He did it earlier in the Olympics. He injured Sidney Crosby, who returns tonight. after 11 games missing. And nothing with that. Last year, during the second round, Sam Bennett from the Florida Panthers took out the Leafs goalie Anthony Stolarz. The league was silent. Dead silent. They didn't do a damn thing about it. Neither did the refs. That goes to show that the head of player safety isn't doing his fucking job. We need a new head of player safety. We do. Otherwise, more teams are going to add enforcers, and there's going to be more injuries, there's going to be more fights. I'm up for that. But the league is not going to be safe. And you're the head of player safety. You should know this league, Peros. You've been in it. You played for Montreal and frickin' Florida. Granted, no wonder why you hate Montreal so much, and biased towards the Panthers. But still, you're the head of player safety. You should be smarter than that. But you're not. Now you're having Radko Gudas serve a 5-game suspension. He's going to be back and do the same dirty shit that he's been doing for the past few years. I'm going to bring up another thing about George Peros. And it does include my team, my second favorite team. A couple years ago, Tom Wilson injured Artemi Panarin. We've all seen the meme, him going like this to the bench. He was served a fine. This guy is a repeat offender. I know that for a fact because, again, I've seen him on Washington. He's a dirty player. He really is, along with Matt Niskanen and Radko Gudas. And that fine shows that the league doesn't care. And then when, I believe it was their coach, brought it up, he got fined as well for complaining. What else? Oh yeah, the 2018-19 preseason. Florida Panthers, Aaron Ekblad gets sucker punched by Montreal Canadiens' Max Domi. What ends up happening? Max Domi gets a remainder of preseason suspension and then a couple games of the regular season suspended. Goes to, again, the conspiracy of him hating Montreal and the bias towards the Florida Panthers. And Ekblad did a dirty hit on one of Montreal's prospects. Max Domi got pissed off and sucker punched him in the mouth. Yeah, stupid move. He should have just dropped the gloves and fight. But it was still funny to watch. And still, he got suspended. Sam Bennett, as I just mentioned, gets nothing. Toronto loses their goaltender, as if that would have made a difference. I know Leaf fans were saying that, if Stolarz was in, it would have been a different series. No. It wouldn't have been a different series. You still would have lost. Bennett did it again in the final and fist bumped Matthew Tkachuk for taking out his goaltender. And nothing happened. That's why I'm saying we need a different head of player safety. Brendan Shanahan, before he messed up the Toronto Maple Leafs, he was the head of player safety, and he did good, as far as I know. So we need a new head of player safety. Because George Peros is an idiot and doesn't know what the hell he's doing. I think I covered everything I wanted. I covered the thing with the Jack Hughes Hockey Hall of Fame fiasco. He acts like he's Becky Lynch whenever she loses a match because of Jessica Carr. And the incompetence of George Peros in player safety. I guess that's pretty much it. This was a long one. This is a very long video. These videos are usually like 10 minutes long. It's longer than that. But I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. And I know I used the R word, which I am going to apologize for. But I think that it was pretty stupid for him to complain. This is Colin from Talking Puck signing out. Have a good one. Jack Hughes from the Devils is a man.